Cycle jerks.
Hey, get out of the road, dummy.
Cycle Jerks Podcast.
All right, welcome everybody to Cycle Jerks Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Stewart, and today I have returning guest Jesse Morris joining us. Jesse, how are you?
Hey, good morning, Mike. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's good to see your handlebar mustached face again, my friend. It's been a
Oh,
while.
thank you. Yeah. Good to see
Yeah.
you.
So Jesse puts on the Wild West gravel grinder up in Red Bluff, and this is the fifth installment of it. It's coming up here on, is it May 16th? May 16th.
May 16th. Yes, yeah. Actually, our sixth. Our sixth.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Well, it's actually been 8 years. We lost a year to COVID, and last year we had a grandbaby being born back east, so we canceled off. But yeah, so this will be our sixth year.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, for some reason I just had five on my radar, but um, yeah, I missed one of them. But this is, I always tell people this is one of my favorite gravel events, and the area is just kind of surprising because having grown up in Northern California and driving past Red Bluff many times, I
yeah.
never really I don't know, I just never spent any time there. And then when I finally did go and do your event, I was just taken by the beauty of it. It's just spectacular part of our country.
It is, and Red Bluff's one of those towns. Yeah, it's off I-5. You drive through, you might get gas, on your way
Mhm.
somewhere else. And but there's a I didn't even know it, frankly. In fact, most people that live here don't even realize. I tell them where I ride, and they're like, "What?" Unless you're
Yeah.
a rancher, the ranchers and the hunters know where these amazing gravel roads are. So we're at the end of the Sacramento Valley. So Red Bluff's like 300 feet. We're super low, but we go right off in the Wild West into the foothills, and then into the tall mountains there, the Yola So yeah, it's quite a gem that I was able to find, and literally kind of out my back door. So.
Yeah, pretty great. The so the weather's always kind of it's somewhat unpredictable because I've been there where it's been like really warm, and then
Yeah.
I've also been where it's thunder and lightning and rain. So do we have any insights for this year?
It's going to be perfect. It's going to be amazing. It'll be the perfect weather. It'll be just cool enough and hot enough for you.
Uh,
Yes. Yeah. No, it's the end of spring around here is a little unpredictable. There can be early 90s sometimes. People are like, "Whoa, wait a second, I wasn't ready for that."
yeah,
But it was thankfully only one wet year. Thankfully, only one wet year. But that stands out in our minds because that was a high stress year for me. Let me tell you, and a lot of mud. But we are going in the mountains. You start at 300 feet, and then if you're on the big course, you're over 5,000 feet. So it's like a whole other world up there. So it
yeah.
can be sunny and warm down here, and people report snow flurries over the top of the mountain. So that's something to be prepared for on the bigger routes for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things too that's really great about your event is you have four different routes
Mm.
with what I think the Buckaroo is what, like 35 miles, something like that.
Yeah, 40. Yeah.
40 miles. Okay. And then you got the Chisholm. Why don't I let you talk about it? Because you know more about it than I do. But
Yeah,
four options for people.
yeah. So the Buckaroo's the 40, about 2,000 feet of climbing. It's like an out and back, about half gravel, half black top, with one aid station at the end. And it's just a super great route for any beginners, or maybe you're not a beginner but you're not fit and you want to come out and support the cause because it's totally a charity. We give all our money away. We don't make any money here, and so some folks will just, hey, I don't want to train a lot. I'm out of shape. I'll just come run the Buckaroo, have a good day in the Wild West, support the cause. So that's a great little route. But I will say, if you can get further into the Wild West, you're rewarded more, right? With the views, with the scenery, with the terrain. The next route is the Chisholm Trail. That's apparently I tried to find as many John Wayne movies to get the names from here.
Uh,
And so the Chisholm Trail is a really, really super great route. It's just under 70. It's 68 miles, I think it is, about 4,000 feet of climbing. And it's puts you in the heart of the Wild West a little more. There's a wonderful, it's a big, like a lollipop is the way the route looks. And on the end of the loop, there's a little road called Weimelsal, which I say that, but there's no actual signs out there. I mean, it's the Wild West,
Yeah.
and it's this wild road that turns into the creek. I think it's flat, but so it's not the steep sections, but it's a lot of creek crossings and rocks, and you little hike a bike right now in certain places. But it's just a long enough route that I think for most folks, it's doable. Depending on how much, fitness you got, how much time you have to train. I feel like this is the route I recommend to lots of folks because it's long enough, hard enough uh, to be an adventure and have a great day, but it's not like soul sucking, destroy you kind of thing. And for the average folks out there, we struggle to get the hours in. And so I find that's a real good, doable route for a lot of folks. And I joke, but it's true. More people come back from the Chisholm Trail with smiles on their faces than probably any other route out there. Not that they're not smiling on the inside,
Uh-huh.
but the Chisholm Trail, yeah. So it's a super, super good one. And it's more forgiving as far as if your bike, your gear isn't maybe dialed quite right. You can get away with a few things because it's only 4,000 feet, which is still significant. There's some quite steep little sharp climbs, but they're short. So worst come to worst, you pop off and hike up the hill if your gearing wasn't right. So a little more forgiving, but the bigger routes, they are not forgiving, and you got to be dialed for those. And then the next one's the True Grit, another John Wayne movie. Excellent one, by the way.
Yep.
And
One of his
uh,
best.
yeah, yeah. And this one, it is really fabulous, frankly. I'm a little biased, I know, but these are world-class roads, in my opinion, as far as gravel and dirt go. Mostly they're just dirt roads, really. There is some gravel, but this one has 8,000 feet of climbing. So now we're talking, and a lot of steep stuff. You got to get your gearing dialed. It's pretty crucial on this one to make sure you got a big old pizza pie out back. A lot more gears in the back than you do in the front. Be prepared for slow, long climbs. And this one will get you up towards Hammer Loop, which is a fabulous little road that lets you see over the valley. The views are spectacular. It's a very special place, Hammer Loop. I've taken my wife up there and seen my old Chevy truck. We drove up there. We had pastries and coffee on the hood of my truck, watching the sunrise on Hammer Loop, and
Oh man.
so it's great. I didn't have to work hard to get there. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, really special place up there on Hammer Loop, and that is the only place that this is a race. So this is really just it's a charity ride. It's an adventure ride. And I want people to stop and smell the Wild West and enjoy it, so to speak. But this part is a race if you want it to be. There is a Strava section. We're kind of low tech here. And so those have the fastest Strava section on the day are rewarded with a hammer, actually. So the road is called Hammer Loop. There's an old man out there, Mr. Hammer. And that's how it got its name. And he lived off some I don't know, some little trail that goes down to the creek, I guess. I've never met him. I met a daughter of his sometime out there or something one time. But anyway,
His name
so
is actually Hammer.
it is, yeah. Yeah, I
Oh
didn't make that
man.
up for the route or anything. Yeah, it's actually on the map. It's Hammer Loop, Mr. Hammer. And so we thought it would be appropriate because it hammers you, right? It's a
Yes.
tough section. It's like 6 miles, I think it is. And first, second, third for the ladies and for the men, each get a hammer. And we have a little podium afterwards. It's kind of fun there for
Yeah.
those who wish to do that. Although I would say for the average folks, just trying to complete this thing, don't try to set some record on Hammer Loop because it's too early and you'll hurt yourself. Right?
Yeah.
just go at a nice steady pace, right, and
Uh-huh.
survive this. But there's a lot of superstars, a lot of hardcore racers that come out and can really push down the pedal and have a fast time.
Yeah.
And but on the Chisholm or the True Grit, we have also a bunch of creek crossings on the second out and back, and they are renowned. People talk about those for years afterwards. Most of the time, you can ride them. Sometimes you cannot. It just depends on how much snow's melting. But there's nothing. I was out there a week or so ago, and I hiked them just because I thought a little bit they're too full of water. Plus, they can get a little slippery sometimes. Even if they get thin and the water's not real deep, it develops like a little slime from the sun, I think. And I've seen people,
Right.
fall right in the creek. At least you're in the creek. You're going slow, but still nobody wants to hit the ground. So, but yeah, so the little hike a bike sections. And this route it's just hard, frankly.
Hmm.
It's fabulous. You'll love it. It's very rewarding. It's the first route we have a buckle with. So the buckles are cool. A lot of people get excited about the buckle. If you're new to this, I don't recommend this as your first route. I would try one of the smaller routes and kind of work your way up, stair step up, because especially if you're not used to gravel, man, it's just harder compared to the blacktop for sure. And it's a long day. Everything's slow. Even your descending is just not that fast, and so it stretches out to a really long day. So eating and drinking is super super crucial
Yeah.
for all of these. But yeah, so I love the 100-mile route. But every time I do it, I'm like, that feels like the hardest 100 miles I've ever done. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just hard.
It is
Uh,
rugged. I can attest to that.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
tough 100.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It is. But and then the next one is the 123 miles, and this is so that was we have the true grit, and then I put this one as the extra grit.
Uh-huh.
Same
I,
course,
li
except you get a little extra on there. So
I like to call it the full knucklehead.
the full, yeah. In fact, I would recommend most people don't do this route, honestly, unless you know that you're at that level, right? Some
Right.
folks they end up biting off more than they can chew, and I totally get that. I mean, we've all been there.
Yep.
But the 100-mile one though, there's two out and backs connected to it, and if you realize when you get to the second out and back, you realize, I'm not feeling it. This is not happening today. You can cut that 20-mile section off, get a lovely 80-mile day, 6,000 feet of climbing, come back for the buckle another day, right? But
Hmm.
there's no escape hatch on the extra grit. Once you commit to that big loop, because it's like a lollipop, you're in it.
Yeah.
But you'll be rewarded. You're going to climb forever. I mean, after hammer loop, you're already hammered, and then you go up and up and up. The next climb up to the top of the mountain is just eons, it seems.
Yes.
But then you have 18 miles of downhill, like 18 miles. I mean, there's a couple little ups towards the end. So that is rich, and the views are nice because sometimes when you're in the forest, I found that all you do is see is trees. You don't get to see the big views, but out there it's pretty open. And so yeah, there's a lot of rich, wonderful views, and you see the road miles away, cut out of the side of the mountain. Hey, I'm going over there.
Uh, it is beautiful. I can attest to that. It is beautiful, but you earn it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
hurts. Yeah.
Yeah, and you get a little bigger buckle and a little more wild buckle for that one because
Uh-huh.
you deserve it. Now, I was up there not long ago. I haven't actually ridden the extra grit portion, but I went up to the edge of it and found a mudslide. It's super wild up there because it's Forest Service land, and they don't get up there to mess with it very often. There's all these trees down across the road currently, so when I go up there to mark the course, I'll bring my chainsaw and I'll have to cut out the trees.
Oh, wow.
And the mudslide is like unpassable by vehicles, like my sweeper trucks, the broom wagon that comes behind. They can't get through it. So we're gonna have to stage a truck on the other side of the mudslide. It always it's logistically this actually is very kind of a tricky course. All of it is because it's very remote, almost no cell reception. We have to use radio, satellite, or like what do you
Two-way
call
radio,
it?
right?
Yeah, well, they're like a it's not a sat phone, but you can text through it. But it goes through a satellite because we found
Oh,
regular radios don't work out there. We had
uh,
search and rescue guys come out, and their radios didn't work out there because it's just too many hills.
right.
So yeah, logistically, it's a bit of a challenge every year. You gotta figure it out, work around the mudslides and all of that. But anyway, yeah, the extra grit, fabulous course. Yeah, that's one I would definitely. Well, even the two big courses, I would bring a vest and some arm warmers if you even if you think it's going to be warm. It's hard to tell because if you check the weather in Red Bluff before you come up, that's the weather at 300 feet, right?
All right.
It's not about weather on the mountain. So I would just come with extra clothes, be prepared, and talk to me. And you can also look to the east and see what's happening, or sorry, the west and see what's happening. But it's better to be safe than sorry because if you're going to descend 18 miles off that mountain, you don't want to be freezing the whole time because we've all had those descents and they're soul
Yeah.
sucking miserable, and you wonder why you're even out there. So,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
come with a little extra clothes. I know you'd hate to pack it, but it's worth it. because you don't know what's happening up on the mountain. And also, these are remote areas, right? And we have vehicles to help, but they're not around every corner. So you want to be self-supportive and prepared. Get your bike broke and you had to walk along and wait for somebody to come get you. So,
Yeah, well, I had that experience.
oh,
So
you did, yeah.
yes, that 18-mile descent. I'm a big fan of descents. It's a lot of fun, and but I don't know how many miles in we were at this point, but and I went hard on the hammer loop. I wasn't like out of it or anything, but I was just I'd spent pretty good, and then I was descending and I was following somebody, and on the fire roads in the corners, you get the braking ruts from the vehicles,
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't know, I can't explain it, but I went down. I think my front tires, I think I hit the ruts, and then I tried to correct, and my front tire slit, but I ended up breaking my shifter. And I couldn't shift. I didn't realize it because I still had all this descending to do. And
Yeah, yeah.
then even went past the aid station, just all the way down the road into this valley where you got to start climbing. Then I go to shift, no gears.
Ah, that's not
I'm in
good.
my hardest gear. So
Oh
I had to
no.
hike it back up, and I hung out with the two-way radio guys for a while. We had a good afternoon together.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah.
that yeah, the 18-mile descent, that's pretty unusual and pretty awesome. So yeah, but again, that's for the full knuckleheads out there. Um so so let's talk about the charity. So I clicked on the site, and so if I understand it right, the charity goes to the church, and then the church disperses the amongst many charities. Is that how it works, or is there one specific one?
So we pick up a specific one through their website. So I'm a minister, and this is like a branch of our denomination called
Hmm.
Nazarene Compassionate Ministries, and they do stuff. We're like in 150 world areas. It's a big old denomination, and so this group does compassionate work all over the place. So what you can do is when you can visit the site through our website.
Yeah.
But then you can pick where you want your money to go. So what we do is we gather all the money in after we're done with the event. We will pick a particular cause to support, and it's always with children. Okay, so it's always with
Mhm.
children. We've done orphanages in like third world country stuff is mostly where this is. Um, last, oh, I don't know, 2, 3 times we've had the event, we've given our money to a little house in the Philippines that takes children in that are caught up in the sex trade and just terrible, terrible stuff. And they minister to the kids, love them, take care of them, and they adopt them into good homes. And so we poured actually quite a bit of money into that over the few years we've done it. Um, and I can't remember the amounts we've given, but enough that I know they built a whole new house the other, last year I think it was, and expanded their ministry. And so yeah, anything with children, that's where we're at, and
Yeah.
we just give it all away. Again, nobody makes any money. We're all volunteers, and I love that aspect. I just say, hey, I'm not making money. You're not making any money. Come and help us. Let's have a
Yeah.
good day. So it
Right.
it works out good.
Well, and that's one of the hallmarks of the event is the volunteers. Man,
Mm.
the energy and the just enthusiasm, and just everybody's just got such a great attitude and approach to the whole thing. It just makes it so fun to be out there participating and supported. The aid stations are
Mm.
really well equipped, and yeah, there's a lot of stoke being handed out. Yeah.
Good, good. Yeah, thank you, thank you. We have our volunteer meeting, and I handpick all these folks, and we really our goal is to make everybody feel loved as possible. That's best we can. I know they're out there
Yeah.
hurting and working, and I just say, hey, we just try to love them and celebrate them, and they're the heroes of the day, and they're helping us, you know, uh, to give money to our cause. So we're very grateful, but we have excellent volunteers. Yeah, I'm very very pleased.
Yeah. Okay, so there is another event that happens on this day too,
Mm.
and you're wearing wearing it right now on the old face there. So the handlebar mustache competition. Now, somehow, I mean, I've been there for several of these, and I miss this. When does the handlebar mustache comp officially launch?
Well, those who wish to participate, yeah, you got to start early for this one. Your training starts early,
Yes.
and yeah, you must persevere. Not everybody's, all trained up for this one, but anyway, well, so at registration, all the registration ladies, I tell them, I say, you guys, when you see the handlebars, you take the pictures,
Yeah.
and then everybody goes, they judge the photographs, right? They take the pictures, and then they pick the winner, and as they come back throughout the day, it's just it's so hard because everybody trickles in because it's such a massive course. So once we find that the mustache winner's there, um, somewhere in the day, we just kind of get on the microphone and announce to the world that we have our mustache winner, and we take it seriously. Though we have a big Bowie knife. I should have brought it out here, but a big old Bowie knife, and we engrave our logo on down the side, and that's the grand prize for the mustache. So yeah.
Oh, nice. So there is a prize. I always just
Oh
thought it was
yeah,
just for fun. But
yeah. Check the registration table. You see the big Bowie knife out there. So
oh, okay. Nice. So have you had that every year?
we have, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We have we've had people glue on mustaches for fun. I know there's a guy out of Chico comes and he has a mustache, and then his wife has a little, glue on one. They just for grins and giggles. But
Uh-huh. Yeah, I have a friend that has one on his right here,
oh
so
yeah,
a
there
little
you go.
tattoo on his finger.
Funny.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, that's fun. That kind of, I don't know if I'm sure it inspires some mustaches.
I hope so. We should bring that back. Yes.
Yes. I don't know. I mean, you're a happily married man. Does the wife appreciate the mustache? Because I run into some serious interference when I get the mustache going.
Do you? Yeah,
Mhm.
she's amazing. She puts up with all kind of antics from me. So facial hair and other things also. But I think she
Uh-huh.
likes it. She doesn't like it as it's in the early stages of development.
Right. It's a
It's
little
too,
bristly.
yeah, it's poking. So
Yeah.
once it reaches a certain length, then she's cool with it. So
I'll try that angle. I'll see if I can,
yeah,
last
you got
year I did Unbound and I grew one for Unbound because,
hey, nice.
yeah. And but yeah, she was really excited when I shaved it off. So happy wife, happy life.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. So have you now on the website it says that the extra grit course may be packed in with snow. Is there an update on that?
I think we're good this year. It's been kind of a drought year. So I know a guy who actually ran the whole route. I didn't know he was going to do it. He sent me some pictures, and again, a lot of trees are down, but he didn't mention anything about snow. And when I was up there, I wasn't clear to the top. I got stopped by the mudslide, but I think we're fine. I think it'll be absolutely fine. Um,
Yeah.
other than the mudslide and a few down trees, we'll chop up. So.
Okay. And I was curious, can you talk about the what I mean, where did this come from? Where did I mean, you're just local Red Bluff and you just started riding these trails and just thought, you know what, I think I can put on an event here. Is that
Yeah.
simple?
Yeah. I mean, uh, I'm just a guy who likes to ride his bike. There's no claim to fame. I never raced. I never did anything special. I didn't find cycling till I was 39, maybe
Wow.
when well, I mean, I commuted to work. I had in the '90s, I bought a mountain bike, and goofed around. But I was never a serious cyclist until almost 40, and that's when I donned the stretchy pants. That's when
Are you getting serious?
yeah. Everybody, I mean, maybe it's just me, but I live in a world where there's not a lot of cyclists around here, and so the first day you step out of the house wearing your funny stretchy pants,
Carhartt doesn't make any cycling apparel.
yeah. You're either a weirdo or just a real cyclist. I don't know, but
Yep.
so I just on the road having fun, just loving the personal challenge actually of just cycling and loving. the process of becoming fit is just I just let, and then when you get fit, it feels good, and it's
Yeah.
healthy and you sleep well.
Right.
So many aspects I was loving, and I ended up with a little gravel bike, and I started exploring because I knew we had some gravel roads out west, but I didn't know the full extent of them. And when I first went out, I remember my first gravel ride on the bike. I came back thinking, "Oh man, who wants to do this?" I was like, it was terrible. Like it was so rough. It beat
Uh-huh.
me up, and I was on this washboard road, and then I realized you can let your air out of your tires, and that'll change almost
Uh-huh.
everything.
Yep.
So once I kind of learned how to adapt to the terrain and even bigger tires, of course, really, I recommend them highly. Every time I've gotten bigger, I keep going bigger and bigger and
Yeah.
really enjoying it. So I just started exploring. This was 2018. I didn't have any friends that had gravel bikes around here. At least it wasn't much of a thing. I reached out to other cyclists trying to get them to come out. There was just no reply because nobody had a bike. A few cyclocross bikes were coming out, trying it out.
Yep.
But I was just exploring. I had a paper map from the county, and I'm like, what are these crazy roads? And very remote. I remember, way out there. I'd never been so by myself in the middle of nowhere before. I stopped to pee, and you look around, make sure you're not going to get eaten by some creature in the woods.
All right. Right.
And there's wild hogs out there. My last I did the whole upper section, 65 miles of the True Grit the other day, and I saw two uh, groups of wild hogs. Got some photos, and it's a really special place, but it's wild.
Yeah.
And I just started exploring, and then I kind of had in my heart to do something, for this charity, especially with children. My brother was a missionary in Africa for a while, and told me
Oh,
just the
wow.
plight of so many little kids, in these terrible countries, basically, that need help. And I thought, man, how could I do something? But I didn't know. And one day I was literally going down a big old gnarly, crazy road in the Wild West. I'm grinning ear to ear, thinking, "This is amazing." I'm out here by myself, though. How can I get people out here? I can't be the only guy who knows about these roads.
Sure.
And I thought, well, what if I did an event? What if we raise money? I go back and tell my wife, and again, she puts up with all my kind of crazy stuff. And inside, she's like, "That's kind of crazy." Outwardly she's like, okay,
Uh-huh.
sure, whatever, and because the funny thing is I pulled off our first event, and I had never been to a cycling event before in my life,
Oh, wow.
because I just go out my front door and ride. I thought, I don't need to go pay money to ride.
Yeah, right. Right.
Now I'm saying, come pay money to ride. So we just kind of figured it out. I built a website, and I always joke though about the first year. You were there the first year. My sign course marking was so terrible. I'm surprised people aren't still out there wandering around.
Yeah.
It was pretty
I did
sad.
make I made a wrong turn at the finish. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went
Uh,
right when I should have went left, and then I started second guessing myself, and then for
uh,
whatever reason I turned around, and then thankfully I did, and then
Good. Yeah.
yeah, it worked out. But
Yeah. Yeah. And I've learned so much. And I have gone to other events since then to try to even glean, information and just how people
sure.
do stuff. And now my sign marking is a whole nother world. Yeah. Much better. So, but yeah, that's kind of how it began. Just kind of just going out there exploring, and kind of something was on my heart, and we thought, hey, let's give it a go. So
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Something was on your heart because I was trying to explain, like I did a charity event where after the Santa Rosa fires, like and I'm an outside rep, so I didn't Santa Rosa wasn't part of my territory, but I drove through there and saw what had
yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just something, it just got put on my heart.
Hmm.
I haven't really thought about it like that before. I was trying to explain it, but I think that's a great way to describe it. Yeah, you just feel like you got to do something. And
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
me, it was like I didn't know what. I just felt like I should do something, and then yeah, ended up finding a way to support it, and yeah, so that's great. And 6 years, my mistake.
Yeah, and so we have a special buckle for 5 years, and we handed them out last time we had the event. Again, not last year because my grandbaby was being
Yeah.
born.
All
But
right. Yeah.
we couldn't miss that. I had to go back east. So
Yeah.
um,
Whereabouts back east?
they were in Virginia.
Okay.
My daughter's husband was in the military. He just got out, but so we were
Okay.
back there at Norfolk. And but
Yeah.
yeah, so we have a 5 year buckle though, and because I kept thinking, some of these folks have been with us like every year, and they keep coming out, and but some of them, hey, I'm going to ride the Buckaroo, I'm doing the Chisholm Trail, and we don't have buckles for those events or
Sure.
those routes. And I thought, well, how can we bless and thank the folks who've been so supportive? And so we came up with a 5 year buckle. It looks like a sheriff's star, and then
Nice.
we deputize you in the Wild West, so to speak, if you've been with us for 5 years. Now they don't have to be consecutive. So if you miss a couple of years, no big deal. Whenever you come up with 5 years in the Wild West, you can mark it on your registration page on the website. And
Okay.
yeah, we announce our 5 year buckle, folks, after the event, and hand them out, and just say thank you. So that's a fun thing.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the Wild West gravel grinder and buckle factory. I
Mm,
guess it would be a good way to. Where are you getting these buckles? Are you made you design the buckle and then you have it made? Where do you?
correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you get them from?
I was just searching the internet, finding stuff. So, and actually, I deal directly with a factory in China. Actually, the
Okay.
language barrier is a real thing, but
Yeah.
but they make super great stuff. And so I'm a penny pincher because we try to give so much, like everything away. We keep a
Sure.
few $1,000s for next year to invest in whatever we got to buy for resources. But yeah. I'm extremely frugal, and I know how to pinch the pennies. And I found this company that gets a great deals, and they make super good products. Actually, they
Yeah.
work with us really well. And I had a buddy who designed all the artwork for us. And so yeah,
Yeah. That's a cool element to the event for sure. I have a couple of the buckles. So,
cool.
yeah. Just recently I was at Sea Otter. I wore it out at Sea Otter was
Oh, sweet,
repping the
sweet.
booth. And I was
Appreciate it.
suggesting to people, go do this thing, you know?
Cool.
Yeah, because it's such great terrain, you know?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, is there what so if somebody wants to sign up, you just go wildwestgravelgrinder.com
Yep.
and the
Yeah, it's really the
registration.
first to pop up. Yeah, you put the Wildest Gravel. I guess there's no other name like that out there. So,
Yeah, yeah.
although I say that, and one time one guy he signed up for some Wild West. It was like in Idaho or something, and he paid his money for that event and came to ours because he got mixed up in the and he couldn't figure out why his name wasn't on the registration at the table. And he came to me, and then he dawned on him, and he shows me, look, I signed up the wrong one. I'll pay you back. I'm like, just write it, and we'll figure it out later. So I guess there is some sort of Wild West in some other state, but yeah,
Yeah.
it should come up if you just Google Wild West gravel grinder.
Yep.
And so, yeah. Hey, no, out of curiosity, have your tires been getting bigger in the gravel?
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that. So, yes, for Unbound, it's famously on these the Flint Hills of Kansas,
Mm-hmm.
and they're notorious for cutting tires.
Yeah.
And so I put the Maxxis Rambler 50s on with the
Nice.
60 TPI casing is what they
Mm-hmm.
recommended. It's the heaviest casing. And yeah, they're still on my bike.
Good.
And I was riding 40s prior to putting the 50s on. And I really prefer the 50s. Yeah, on road, it's minimal, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
is the difference. And then off road, it's incredible. You have so much more
Yeah.
braking and control under the steep
Mm-hmm.
stuff when you're descending, and yeah, just overall, it's pretty great. How about you?
Yeah. 50 millimeters is where I've been. I read a 650B setup. I'm a
Oh,
little
okay.
short guy. In fact,
Yep.
that's great when you're short for just toe overlap and frame size and everything.
Yep.
Um, but so I started off with 47s, I guess is generally how that works with those. And those were
Okay.
great. And then I thought, hey, I could put 50s, and I put 50s in there. And again, yeah, they really shine off road. I on road, they're probably a little sluggish, but once, like, the Wild West is mostly off road anyway.
Yeah.
I found this also. I'm not highly skilled. I know you got all kinds of skills from your past, and a lot of people do. I never mountain bike. I came to this sport late, and so I'm not great going down hills and all the tricky stuff. So I really find that big tires just are more of a confidence boost. You're more stable. I feel way more stable in like a creek crossing or sketchy terrain. And so I recommend to folks, because I think that is one issue when folks come out of the road riding into gravel. You can be a little bit scared, frankly, with all the
Sure.
slipperiness of it all. You're like, well, this is not normal. But the bigger tires are way more confident, inspiring. They float over loose stuff better. They handle everything better, more forgiving. I think it saved my bacon a few times when I made a bad decision out there.
Yep.
Not that I haven't hit the deck, but I think it helps build confidence. And so, yeah, I would definitely recommend, depending on your bike, you got to do, what your frame will allow. But even a bigger tire in the front often can be the case, and a smaller in the back if you're trying to max that out. But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely love bigger tires if you can put them in. And tubeless is the best because you can bring your pressure down. And that's another thing I'd like to mention is it really changed my life is when I use a tire pressure calculator online.
Uh-huh.
I used to use a Silka one. There's a few others, I guess, out there, but they calculate your weight and the terrain. It's pretty great. I
Yeah.
find that it's still a starting point. I even for gravel drop it down